What's up, folks? What is up, folks? That transition did not do what it was supposed to do. So let's try that one more time. Hold on. Let's try that one more time. There we go. There we go. The music was not supposed to pause. That was supposed to keep going. But let's turn the music back up. Happy Saturday, friends. For those who don't know me, my name is Corey L. Weathers. Super excited to be with you today. It's been a while since we've lit up. We've been busy on the weekends. We've been really busy on the weekends. But I'm excited to be with you. I'm here. We're live. I'm excited to be getting this thing going one more time. So we're going to clap. We've made it to the end of the week. Yes. Made it to the end of the week. It was a crazy week. It's been a busy few weeks here on my side. We've got birthday parties, spring things happening, planning for the summer, and more. But I'm excited to be with you on what is my Saturday morning here. It's just 2 minutes past the hour. How are y'all doing? It's good to see you. My friend Frackberg's in chat here on Twitch. Welcome, Frackberg. Good to see you. I started lighting the stream back up, in January with the expressed intent of just connecting with you all. Just developers in the community doing some amazing and fantastic things. And so I use this time to both keep my skills up, to stay up to date on things going on, and to just chat with y'all, because I enjoy getting in that time with y'all. So thank you for taking some time to hang out with me. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Let's get this thing going. Stop. How was your weeks? Drop your notes into the chat. Welcome to share any and all good news. We love celebrating our wins from the week. I've had a couple of wins. My kids had some fantastic times this week. One of my kids was doing state testing. They had a very big opinion on how ridiculous state testing is, and I happen to not disagree. So that was a fun one. Another one of my kids is playing Roblox and is doing a fantastic job playing Sonic Speed Simulator. And so we spent some time this week catching up on that. One of my kids is reading Demon Slayer. We spent some time catching up on that. Those are my wins of the week. All things family. I love that I'm getting the time in to connect with them. So if you've got a win of the week, drop it in chat. If this is your first time joining, don't be shy. Please say hi. We love hearing from folks. Yeah. Hey, there was supposed to be a clap on that, and I didn't. That didn't work. Wait a minute. What happened? Here we go. We're back. Okay. One more thing. I want to go say hi to our friends in chat. I'm that way. Yeah, that way. So our friend Frackberg has joined. Frackberg, it's good to see you. Listen, we love just chatting with folks. We usually kick the stream off. We say hi. We love catching up with folks. I use the time as well to, just hear from folks and what they've got going on. So if you do have anything interesting going on, definitely don't be shy. One other big win this week. So a few weeks ago, I paid off a major debt. Fantastic. I feel proud of myself. Congrats to me. Yay, all the things. But the other side to this is I told a friend of mine that I was doing this, and they reached back out to me this week and said they also did the same thing. They were inspired by some of what they had heard me do. And so we're just going to cheer for that. Shout out to getting debts paid off. This friend of mine was telling me that they were trying to make a purchase, a really big major home purchase, and they needed to clear some of the debt to make things work. So I'm excited that we're out here inspiring people. I love that. All right, so now let's talk some things shop. Let's talk some things code. So those who don't know, I have the privilege of working with an amazing team supporting all things Auth0 developer relations. I usually do not talk Auth0 on stream. And the reason why is because I don't do this for work. I kind of do this for me. But, if you've got Auth0 questions, if you've got identity questions, if you are doing something where you're trying to solve an identity challenge, you're very welcome to drop it in chat. What we've been doing on this stream is I've had different personal pet projects that I've been working on. One was a recipe app. I'm still working on that. One is my actual personal website. I'm still working on that. And now this third idea that we'll be talking on today, I'll be working on with you all. I've been working on it like in the evening hours during the week. Me and Copilot. Shout out to all things AI. Actually, let me clarify. It was me, Copilot, and Cursor. And I'll talk a little bit about why I'm using things the way I am. Y'all will probably, if you're joining in chat, you'll probably see and you'll probably have an idea like, hey, maybe you should do this differently. So I'll take any and all advice you have. But I've been spending time during the week working on this fractions project. So this is going to be really fun to get to show off. And so we'll see what this is. Our friend Frackberg asked in chat if I saw their remote work setup. I didn't. I'm super curious now to hear more. If you've got more fun things happening as well in chat, don't hesitate to drop it there. So yeah, today we're going to talk about this fractions app. I'm trying to help one of my kids learn fractions. And legitimately, they have had some issues. So I said, oh, well, what if I use this as an opportunity for me to stay up to date on all things latest and greatest? And so what I'm going to be doing, I'll show you a fair bit of it as I get started here. And so, our friend Frackberg's just dropped a link. Frackberg, can I share this on screen? Can I show this on screen? This is actually really cool because my remote work setup looks nothing like theirs. Hold on, let me show you something. Let me show you something. See, this to me is like return to office done well. Let me just make this clear. Yeah. So check this out. I'm going to switch scenes here. Look at this. Look at this. This is Frackberg's remote work setup. Where Frackberg, you've got the table set up just outside. Everything's running off of solar, if I can tell correctly. You've got, let me see, MacBook, external monitor. What's that to the side of the external monitor? That's super curious. I see your ergonomic keyboard right with the quick table setup. You've got the water bottle there and then everything. Okay, so then what's running off of the truck? I see the truck also is holding up all things shade, right? So you're not sitting out in the sun the whole day as the sun moves. This is really, really, really cool. I'm calling this remote work done well. So let's give a clap and a cheer for that. Our friend Rizal is joining us well from LinkedIn. Welcome. Glad to have you. Yes, I should have mentioned this. I didn't update my overlays to say this, so my bad. We're live on Twitch on Coriel Weathers. We're live on LinkedIn on Coriel Weathers, and we're live on YouTube. I think this is the second time we've gotten up on YouTube because I just got my channel back. So I'm excited about that. Frackberg, is that a dog I see in the front of the truck? Is that a, yup, yeah. This must be the family pet, yeah? Oh, this is so cool. This is really cool. This is return to office done well, if you ask me. Look, you've got internet connection. Yeah, Frackberg says they've got the laptop, the iPad, the monitor, and an electric cooler running off of the battery. And battery is coming off the solar panel, which makes sense. And I see the cooler there, just there, which is genius, right? Like, and the internet's working. See, okay, so if you left it to me, and you put me in this sort of terrain, I would probably not want to work. I'm not gonna lie. Very, 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 very spot on. But I would totally be like, yeah, I don't want to. Like, I would do this for like maybe 4 hours, and then after that, I'm like, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Hey, if you all have some fun things from this week, don't hesitate to share. I spent a bunch of time with my kids. I got a lot of fun things that I can share as well, but I'm gonna now jump over to some code if y'all don't mind. We have y'all know I like to get in, do some code, get out, right? So we're only spending an hour on stream today. And then I am going to, I've been tending to my lawn. I've been tending to the house. I've been tending to my car. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today. And the kids are not around today. So I have some fun here. But yeah, okay. So now let's go write some code. So I'm going to transition to this. Oh, I thought I left Visual Studio Code up. So I was talking about this earlier. I'm building this fractions app. It's to help my daughter learn how to do better with fractions, right? Because like no one really likes doing fractions until you figure it out. And then you figure it out. You're like, oh, this is actually not that bad. And as you can see, I was like doing a lot this week. So this is our project. It's built with .NET because I built everything with .NET because that's just the way to go. And the intention is that there is a web app and a mobile app. She spends a fair bit of time on her iPad. I want something that's also consumable from a browser. So I spent some time talking to Copilot, and Copilot was like, well, you could do this a couple of ways, right? You could do this as a web application and make that web application a progressive web app, which makes it installable on a device. And then I did some research, and I saw that, the Apple Store does not really do as well with progressive web apps. Fine. So then, with Blazor and .NET, they said the way to go is to use .NET MAUI. I have never done anything with MAUI at all. It's my first time doing anything with MAUI. So I have this project here, which is our MAUI project, right? And that's the thing that we'll use to just make sure everything's available and accessible. And then I have a web application, which is very much for the website. Now, how we share, what we share, all the things, I'm going to figure that out. Then, like every good developer building something, I keep saying, well, we're going to share a bunch of things. So we should probably just have a backend API that both applications use, right? So we have the two different front ends, and then we have this backend API that we can use for most of the transactions. And that backend API is then backed by a database. Now, I have done most of my database work with, to store things. I've done most of my database work with things like Azure Table Storage, with things like SQL Server and Cosmos DB. And everyone keeps telling me I need to try out Postgres. So this project is set up to use Postgres, which is very interesting to me. I'm learning. I'm doing this all together live and with folks. But what I appreciate is I've been using Copilot to help me make sense of things. And then I've been using Cursor because I suck. I absolutely suck at all things front end. So I've been using Copilot to help me fix most things front end. Now, here's the deal. I made a bunch, as you can tell, I don't know if y'all can see that. Up here, this thing says I've got 41 changes. Because I've been doing some stuff, and every now and again I check stuff in. I'm terrible at remembering this. Like, absolutely terrible. So I'm like, okay, well, we got some stuff set up. I made a bunch of changes. I didn't check anything yet. So you can see there's a bunch of stuff going on here, right? I'm going to do something incredibly wild. I'm going to get this project where I left off at some point during the week because I'm going to try to, it wasn't building. So I'm going to get this project building and running. And then I'm just going to check everything in. And I'm just going to call this like a blanket commit. So it's sitting in GitHub somewhere. Then we're going to start to make some changes to it. We have about 45 minutes. We may stop at about the halfway mark just to say, take a bio break real quick and then come on back. But let's just get this thing building. I'm going to try to run it and let's see what happens. And as you see, because there's multiple projects, we have a web app, we have a mobile app, we have an API, we got a database. Of course, I'm using .NET, and so I'm orchestrating all of these apps. I'm getting them to talk to each other using .NET Aspire, which is why you see the app host and the service defaults projects, because those are for Aspire, right? So let's just see if we can run this thing. I'm going to, let's close chat for now. Y'all can't see it anyway. So I'm going to come over to the command line. Oh, by the way, I'm in Visual Studio Code today. Shout out to the Visual Studio Code, folks. The Visual Studio Code fans. Really good to see y'all. cd./fractionsapp.apphost. Okay. Then I'm going to do a .NET run. I'm not going to do anything else other than just say run the project. It's going to go build a bunch of things. The last time I tried to build this, the Maui project took forever. I mean, absolutely atrocious. It was so bad. I was like, man, I understand why people don't like this. It's so terrible. And you see, I have a bunch of warnings. So I used Copilot to write a bunch of code for me. I'm not going to lie. Because it was helping to speed some things up. But then it wrote some stuff that was very funky. And so I was like, yeah, we got to come back and fix this. But we'll check some stuff into GitHub and then come back and fix stuff. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, look, see, it's all building. It's all building. And you can't see it because it's behind my face. Let me show you something. So if I go there and I do, right? So you can still hear me, but as you can see, now we finally have something here. So let me hold on. Let me pull me back in. Okay, there I go. Okay, so here's Aspire doing something. Aspire is just opened up to the dashboard. Fantastic. And now you start to see some interesting things happening, right? And I clicked this by accident. I told you we have our database, which is here. Now I'm getting this interesting error. Then I'm getting this error because I'm getting this error. I'm guaranteeing this. But the web front end seems to be fine. So we got to go fix all of this before we actually do anything. Look. So this is part of the reason why I actually like Aspire a lot, because I can come in here and see if something's broken in this way, right? Very easy, very straightforward. Now I want to figure out why this thing's telling me runtime is unhealthy. Let's go see. Yeah, it's trying to do a health check and it can't do it. So I wonder if the problem is that Docker isn't running. I have to imagine that that's part of the problem. Because what's happening is we have these front ends, we have our API, and then we have our backend database running on Postgres. But it's a database, and that database is coming from a container. And sure enough, yeah, let's skip that. That's the problem. Docker wasn't running. So let's go fix that. Let me leave that there. Let me see what actually happens now that Docker is running. Oh, look. Look. Okay, we're getting there. Now it's running. Look how quick that was. That's nice and easy. That was actually really fast. I promise you I didn't stage that. I didn't stage that at all. Is there anything I can see here? Okay, so that's good there. Now let's go see what the API is doing. Is the API still throwing these errors? It's 9:19. The API is no longer throwing these errors, it looks like. So that's good. But I still, yeah, look. So the API is just shut down. They can no longer run because I guess we've run out of all of the errors. We've done the health checks for so long that it knows that something's unhealthy. And so we need to get it spun back up. Okay, so there's that. Then there's this thing. So that's our mobile front end. And the mobile front end is tricky because the mobile front end runs on Maui. And I saw a note in my code that said, here we go. Maui projects can be a little tricky with Aspire because they're not traditional web services. I have no idea what that means. This came from Copilot. I have no idea what that means. So if I'm coming up with a to-do list for us to fix today, it's one, get the API working. Make sure it can connect up to the database. We're not actually saving anything in the database yet, but make sure it can connect up to the database. That's the first bit. Now I'm gonna hit that. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yep. Yeah, look, right? Yeah. So something's up. Look, because you can even see it. Look. Let's get rid of that. Let's make this bigger. You can even see it here, right? Okay, I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's happening here in 2 seconds. Okay, so the API's connecting, but it's failing. I have to figure out how to fix this. The Maui is just not. I mean, let me see. If I try to run this, let's see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't even run. Yeah, it doesn't even run. Okay, so we're going to go fix a couple of things. First of all, why is this failing? This is failing because I am using a technology called Entity Framework. Entity Framework is used to initialize and seed the database. It literally is used to initialize the database, right? Make sure that we can connect up to it, set the structure in place, and then run a number of migrations to like get everything going. And as you can see, when we tried to restart it, you see, look, it tried to do a select and that failed from the database just to see what was there. And the reason why it failed was because that problem sets didn't exist, that table. Our friend Frackberg is headed out. Thank you for joining, Frackberg. Be safe over there. Be really, really, really careful with the rain. I just saw your note. We've had rain here in Philadelphia, I think like 3 out of the last 7 days. I'm pretty sure we're getting more rain next week. Good for me because I'm trying to work on my lawn. Bad for many, and myself included, because it leads to leaks. So yeah, our friend TBD Gamer's in the house. Welcome, TBD Gamer. It's good to see you. Good to see you. We were just talking through what's happened with my code as to why it's not working. And I'm using, so you've just joined. We're building this Fractions app. The Fractions app uses a number of different components. You legitimately have Postgres for the database, the API there, and then 2 front ends. I've got a web front end and I've got a mobile front end. The mobile front end doesn't seem to work as nicely. We're gonna fix the API real quick and go figure out what's happened here. And the error code that we're getting is very much, no, go back. The error code that we're getting is very much because here we go. It's because the migrations didn't run. See? You can see it. So we're using Entity Framework to run migrations. You can see it. Literally, a migration needs to be added. Da ba 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 ba. Yep. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this went. Okay. Okay. Ensuring the database exists. Error occurred, no migrations were found, but there are migrations there. That I know for sure. A migration needs to be added before the database can be updated. Yep, they got the right connection string. Fine. Yep, no migrations found. Then what did it try to do? It still was looking for migrations, so it's assuming that those migrations were there. It wasn't. It tried to seed the database, which is exactly what made sense, and no migrations found. Okay, so let's go take a look at our data project and go see. Let's go take a look at our data project and go see. Our friend RJ's in the house as well. Welcome. Hey, what happened to my chair? There we go. Welcome. Okay, so now let's go take a look. Okay, so here's our first bit of code, right? And our first bit of code here is showing a couple things. First, I have a couple different types of like models that we're using within the database, right? And the reason why is because there's a couple of specific things that I want to make sure we can save. And so we have a problem set model. Actually, let me go see if I can go find those definitions. Hold on. F12. Definition. Here we go. So we've got a fraction model, which represents our fraction. We've got the game model, because I want to gamify this a little bit. Disregard that for now. We've got a problem set because there's going to be different types of problems. Each problem is going to have a good, an ID, a name, description, blah, 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 blah. And then we have a user progress, right? So that as a user does things, we can keep track of it, all right? So now if I come here back to initializer, you'll see we're doing a bunch of things to set up some sample problems. I got that from Copilot, nothing special. Then it adds that and it saves that. That's all it should be doing. This is the right code. Huh, I wonder why that did not work. Let's go ask Copilot. I also saw something as well. Well, let's ask Copilot. So when the API starts up, let me go check one more thing. Hold on. There is code here in the API that is here that I do not like, and it's this. I want to take this out, and I want to move it. So what this code does is it says, hey, listen, again, got that from Copilot because first time working with Postgres. It says, hey, as we do this, let's create a retry policy, right? So that's all this policy is, such that if we need to continue trying to connect to the database, we've got it. But then this right here says, okay, apply that policy. Grab the database context. From the database context, go ahead and migrate, run the migrations, right? Then from after doing the migrations such that the database exists, seed the data into the database so that way everything works, which is what that last thing was. And so that should in theory work. My problem is I don't like where this is. Like it's sitting under the retry so that it retries multiple times. I want to move it. So yeah, and no using on this yet, TBD Gamer. Actually, let me go hit chat real quick. Janisku, tell me more about using Aspire to make, to have an app host specifically for the front end. I'm really curious because I saw you say, hey, one way to do this is to have a separate app host for the back end mobile, and then web front end. So this way, we can keep things separated, but I'm curious as to what that gives me. And then TBD Gamer, nope, no using yet. I stole this code from, I borrowed this code from Copilot, this specific code from Copilot on, I think Wednesday night, one of these, Tuesday night. It's Wednesday night and Thursday night, I didn't get to write any code. And last night I went out. So this is me now coming back to my Tuesday brain. But I will put a using on there once we get this thing working. Let me start. Oh, yeah. We run DB migrations, but the DB migrations aren't working in Aspire. What might you suggest I change? Let's see what this says. I want to see what this suggests. Okay, so this thing said create a health check for migrations. I don't think, no, we're going overboard. Yep. Okay, so all this is doing is adding health checks for the migrations. It could work, but I don't think I actually like that either. Let's go see what this says. Let me go here. Builder.setup, builder.services.add health check. add DB context check for the fractions DB context, right? And then it adds one specifically for the migration. So let's go see. Oh, I think I like that approach better. So the way I have this here, hold on, Control Shift F12. Okay, can I, there we go. The way I have this here is I have all of this in one method. Specifically because I wanted to just put this all in one place, and it was helping me with some of the debugging that I was doing, right? So it's all sitting in this one method. If I look at this and I think about how to apply that, I would put it in here. But I don't want to do that. So let me try this here. Builder, services. Nope, don't do that. I want to see if this actually helps. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not going to take their blind advice, but I am going to do the add DB context check. I don't like that. Why'd they add that extra check? I wonder what that method gives me. And then I'm going to go back to chat because I just saw TBD Gamer said something, which is interesting. And let's try builder, builder, services, add health checks, add check. That's not the right class. This is why I said I didn't like this. Yeah, that doesn't work. That's exactly what I thought. So let me take that out. Let me save that. Let me run this again and see what happens. And let me go see what TBD Gamer said. TBD Gamer said, the way I did this was to create an actual migration service that the app hosts so that the Aspire app host starts up while the other services wait to finish. Ooh, hey TBD Gamer, is that code open sourced? Can I go take a look at that? That's an interesting idea. So you start up the DB. Let me say this out loud. You start up the database, right? Separate, right? Just as its own thing. Then you have a service that actually is responsible for all things migration, right? So set up the structure of the database, seed the database. Then once that's done, everything else will go and do this. I like that idea. Let's go find this. Thank you for sharing that. This is TBD Gamer sharing this from developers.stream. Y'all should also go check out TBD Gamer streams. Let me do a shout out. If only that worked. There it goes. Okay. Is it in your app.host? Yup. Here we go. So let me make this bigger for y'all. Can I just do switch to that? Sucks. Okay, here we go. So in his app.host, he's got database, add the database, migration service, builder.add project, migration service with a reference to the databases, and then we wait for it. And then after that, everything else waits for completion. I like that. I like that. Let's go see that project. Developer Stream Migration Service. And in your migration service, you put all of the DB context stuff. Yeah. Let me make that bigger for folks. Here we go. Services, add hosted service, initialize DB context worker. Then you set up the connection. Then from here, you go ahead and point to the migrations assembly. It makes a ton of sense. And the migrations themselves sit in a different project I saw. I like this. I like this approach a lot. I think I'm going to borrow this approach. And then here go the migrations. Yep. I like this approach. Okay, let me try the similar approach. The other bit, let me just double check something. For your migration service, are you just running this? Yeah, you're just running this as an app that it can just run. Okay, let me go take a similar approach here. So let me come back here, go there, go there, go there. Let's kill the app from running. We won't finish it in time for today's stream, but I'm gonna finish it at the end, by the end of, I think, Monday, Tuesday, because I can do it then. So let me cd let's go .NET. It's just a new project. Like, it's just a new library project. What's the name of that project type? ClassLib. And then we can update the proj. Wait, let me double check on your side if there's anything in the CS proj that's well, no. Let me do it this way. Let me go fix the migrations first. ClassLib -n. We'll call this fractions app dot data dot migrations. Okay. Then I want to come down here, and I'm going to need to move a couple of things. I'm going to need the initializer. I don't necessarily need that yet, and I won't need that yet. And I will need the DB context. So let me create that structure again, because that's going to set up the full thing. So let me create a folder there called context. Or can I just cut and paste? Let's go find out. And then I'm going to have to go update namespaces. I sure will. Okay. Save that. Then, what's in extensions? I don't think there's anything I need here just yet. This is more about the connections. I don't have anything in here that's of interest yet. I will need this. So let me borrow this. And I'm gonna also need to go get Entity Framework. So let me check the CS proj and go grab that. .NET add package. Oh crud! Hold on. CD. /fractions app /fractions app .data .migrations. Okay, let's do that again. .NET add package. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need this. .NET add package. Pretty sure I'm gonna need. I definitely am gonna need this. I'm not sure about the other two yet. Okay. Then let's close all of this. So let's close others. Let's move that back over, right? And now that we've set that up, let's come back in here and do two things. It's gonna need the repositories because we need to know what tables to set up. So let's pull this down. The good thing is I haven't checked any of this in yet, so we got some room to play with. Sorry, here we go. Okay, and then I need that. Then I can take that out and minimize there, minimize, come back here, go back there. Okay, wait, now I do need to double check a couple things. I moved the connection string setup. Yeah, we got about 13 minutes left. I moved the connection string setup to be in here. That's because I was playing around. Yep. Okay, wait. Let me see how you did this. Source. It's just the migrations. So you have the snapshot here that has all of the structure of the database, but then you have just the migrations that come in after that. I like that. And then if I come to the service, let me see what the service looks like. Got it. Okay. So I did this wrong. I'm gonna come back and fix this. Let me rename this, because that's really what this is gonna become. And then I'm gonna rename that project. Why are we... Okay, I broke something. What did I break? Because you're hanging on me. Why are we hanging? Okay, 1 second. I'm going to close this, reopen it. Yeah, it's hanging on me. All I wanted to do was a rename so we can go update the project name. And I'm going to add that. I'm going to fix that in the solution file. But for some reason, it's Visual Studio Code is hanging on me. Come on, code, come back to me. Come on, code. Oh, boo. I got an error that said I can't do a rename. That sucks. Hold on, let me close this real quick. Let me see if I can do it without opening it back up. Never seen that before. Okay, let's try this one more time. Dot migration service, because that's really what this is going to become. Oh, boo, what is this? I don't want to get caught up on this. And then I gotta fail to restore NuGet. God, y'all can't see it. It's behind my face. That's a good thing. But okay, I'm gonna switch editors real quick. Because this is it. Cool. Let me go to Visual Studio. 1 second. I'm fixing the project structure as we do this. This is a good shout, though. I appreciate you sharing this, TBD Gamer. This is actually a really good approach. And it almost feels like something that they should include in their default project template if you're going to do something with a database, right? Like, it feels like the right approach. I'm going to close this one. Part of why this is going to break, I'm fixing the project structure now, and then I'm fixing some of the other stuff. But part of why this is going to break is because of the solution file. So we're going to do some things. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, hold on. So let's close all tabs. Let's come in here. Where are you? Where is my open? Nope. Okay, let me unload the solution. Where are you? There was a thing in here. You used to be able to edit this file directly. And I can't see it unless I'm tripping. No, that didn't work. Okay, then maybe I'm tripping. Hold on. Let's do this. Brute force outside of IDEs. 1 second. Code, POCs, fractions app. Okay, there we go. Let me come in here. Okay, so let me close that. I'm just going to do this here. Then, right, that's good. Then, I'm going to edit this with Apples. Let's save that, and then that's weird. And then migrations isn't in there, but we can fix that. Hold on. Oh yes. Our friend TVD Gamer says you know things aren't going as planned when you have to edit things by hand. Yup, you ain't wrong. You are not wrong. Okay, that's fine. I can take care of that one back in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let me close that. Let's go back to code. I swear, I don't know what broke, but I have never seen that happen where you can't edit the file like that. Okay, let's go back to opening that folder. Okay, and then let me do the Visual Studio extension. Yep, the solution extension, and it's gonna find the solution. And then we're gonna fix this. So let me close all. Let's just close all. And then let's wait for this. Wait a minute. How do we end up with an empty project? I swear, all I did was update 2 lines. I have no idea what that is. Let's go back to Notepad real quick. let's go back here real quick. So it's not going to have migrations because I have to add migrations to the solution. That's fine. But it should have migration service. Migration service, migration service, migration service. And it's all in the same, let me just double check. Migration service is in a folder named migration service with a project name called migration service. So that should work. So where is it getting the empty one from? Let's find out. Let's save that again. And then let's come here and let's refresh. I have no idea where it's getting that from whatsoever. But let's add an existing project. And let's go to migrations. Let's okay, now we're getting somewhere. One or more errors occurred. Something's missing a project ID. What project ID? Do I have to swap the GUID just to be safe? We can. Fine. Let's just do it. Just to be on the safe side. Copilot. Just give me a GUID. Yeah. I need a new GUID. Power Toys. I just need a GUID. I'm gonna replace this one. Is there? Doesn't Power Toys have a? I swear to God, this is like. It's gone left. I just need a GUID. Hold on. I'm just gonna swap this, right? Because it really is just this. That's all it needs. Everything else should work. And I get that the whatchamacallit isn't there because it's not meant to be there. So if I close that, I come here, I reload, reload. Okay, let's close the folder, reopen the folder. Swear to God. Let's go to the D drive where all the code is on the PLCs of the fractions app and select that one. Okay, so we see the folder there. Now let's come to the solution. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, load this. We got like 1 minute left and then we ended up with the IDE getting in the way. I have no idea what this is. Okay, wait. I'm gonna try one more thing before we have to hop off, because then I have to hop off. Because we gotta wind this thing down. I'm still gonna borrow your approach there, TBD Gamer, though. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna check it in, and then I'm gonna come to your stream and let you know that I did it. So that you're like, wait, yeah, okay. So open file. Okay, I did something when I manually edited the file. This is why we shouldn't let Corey manually edit solution files. And the thing is, y'all saw, all I did was update the name of the project. That was it. It's not like I changed anything. The only thing I did was change the name of the project. Here's how we're gonna fix it though. You ready? You ready, TBD Gamer? I'm actually not gonna build a new solution. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stash all the changes And then I'm going to restore back from Git real quick. Stashing all of the changes. Oh, wait. I didn't have all of these. Okay, wait. Let's track it. Again. No, wait. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'll fix that. I'll undo that. I'll fix that. And then we'll go back to this branch and then we'll check it out. Okay, I gotta go check some things out. I gotta go remove that commit. I gotta go get the stash, merge it back together, stash everything together, then go back to the commit that I had in GitHub, pull from there, and then we're back to like a good state. Good Lord. Good Lord. I guess this is why Corey shouldn't write code on Saturday mornings. Yeah. Okay. Let me switch scenes because we got to get out of here. Yeah, let me go there. Okay, so I think TBD Gamer was right. I probably will be faster if I just create a new solution, whatever. But I'm gonna borrow TBD Gamer's approach. We're gonna keep this thing going. I'm probably gonna write a blog article about why this should be the directed approach, the opinionated approach that's added into the template. So be on the lookout for that. When I do it, it'll more than likely end up on LinkedIn and on Substack. So we'll see how that goes. The other thing, I'll be back next week. We are back on a regular schedule, so I'll be back next Saturday. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Next week, I think we have 2 hours we can go. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Next week, we'll have 1 hour we can go because I have to grab my son and then get some stuff going for the weekend. Then I'm going on a trip for work right after that. We'll be back. I think I'm back that weekend after. We're trying to keep this thing on a consistent schedule. Saturdays, 9 a.m. Eastern. Fingers crossed. If we can get 4 Saturdays in a row, look, I'm calling that a win. Yeah? All right, friends, listen. In the meantime, thanks for hanging with us. I'm going to update the overlays. I'll send some updates out on LinkedIn. We're going to share some recaps as to why you don't do things the way that I did them and all the things, yeah? In the meantime, I'll see y'all next week. Have fun. Have a great weekend, friends. Ciao.